Hey, this is Pat Sheridan from Fit For An Autopsy, and you're listening to Interview Under Fire.
7 oceans, 7 seas, 7 billion souls that swam back to the bottom, like they to the flame. We say just
all right, so first off, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. First and foremost, how are you, Pat? How have things been for you, for your family, and your band as of late? And how long have you guys been on lockdown?
Well, lockdown in Georgia is a little different than lockdown in other places. Like, we're definitely, in a situation where everybody is being recommended to stay home and do that. Most businesses are closed, but we're fine, man. It's kind of like business as usual here. My wife generally works from home. That's just the way her job works. The business she works for is in the Northeast and we're in the Southeast. So she's working steady, and, my kid's home from school. So he's antsy and all he wants to do is play video games and yell at me about not being able to go out. And, things are okay. My mother-in-law, she has cancer, and she's been battling that for the past 2.5 years or so. And she's doing good, but, she's immune compromised because of some of the medications she's on and stuff. So it there's some worries there about that, but she's doing good, and we're keeping it healthy. And I'm yelling at her not to go to the store too much and trying to make sure she stays home. And, we're doing okay. As far as the band, we took a pretty big hit because our tour got canceled day one. We played a show in Philadelphia. And then as we were playing, 10 shows got canceled. And it was just like, all right, like, the balance isn't there. Like, we can't make this work. There's too much of a loss for the headliner because Die Art was the headliner. And, they already were in the bag from, coming over from Australia and getting their bandwagon and doing all that. So everybody was, incurring the typical tour startup. But then losing 10 shows, that's a lot of revenue. So, not that we wouldn't have tried, but it wouldn't have worked. So we canceled, and, we were in the hole a bit, but we got lucky, and we listed all of our merch online from tour. And, man, supporters of Fit For An Autopsy are incredible. We a little more than broke even, so now we're able to support the credit card bills and the other things that all the bands have out there. And I want to thank everybody that picked up a T-shirt or a hat, or went out of their way to share our stuff on the internet that maybe caused some people to pick up a T-shirt or a hat or a hoodie. And we sold out of a bunch of stuff, which is crazy to think about in these kinds of times. So we're proud to be part of the metal and hardcore scene because it really does take care of its own. And we're very lucky that worked out. So, to all the bands that maybe aren't as lucky, please put your things online, keep pushing it, keep doing what you're doing, and, it'll work out one way or the other. But we got lucky. I guess we got a little buzz at the right time, and it helped. So, so that's it. We put out that new song, and people really
here tomorrow.
Yeah. It was the right time. We wrote Absolutely. That song like 5 months ago, like lyrics and all.
Wow.
Like that song was done. And it was something we've been sitting on for a minute, and we were trying to decide whether we were going to release it or when we were going to release it or what we were going to do. And it's literally about what's going on right now. And it was like, holy shit, like, we have this thing, we should do something with it. And Will came up with the idea of having Eric Richter make the video. And so that went really well. And, that merch is moving along, and, things are, luckily for us, things are cool. So we're all right. And folks like you too, you guys help a lot too, because you care and put our shit out.
Of course.
So,
dude, yeah. Bro, we're going to be always there for you, no matter what. I was going to ask if you did write that song pre or post the quarantine, whenever you guys, because when you guys released, I was like, wow, did they actually do this like during this entire pandemic? That's impressive. I was gonna ask that question if that was done recently. So if you guys did that 5 months ago, was that something that was almost you guys were debating if you wanted to put that on Sea of Tragic Beasts, or that's just something you guys just put it on the side and did just make the record, or what?
It's a song that we recorded that after Seas. It was Sea of Tragic Beasts came out, and then we had some other things that are kind of going on in the background, and we had some music sitting around, and we're like, yo, let's like record a couple of singles and just, you know, keep them just in case. We already have the studio going and things are moving forward. And so Will and Hosian worked out all the rhythms and got everything done. And then me and Tim and Will actually sat down and worked on the solo together. It's probably the first, I mean, Tim had the main, I had a thing, it didn't work out. And then Tim had a thing and it worked out really well. So we all kind of worked it out together. And it was the first time as a team, me, Will, and Tim wrote a solo together. So it's this really cool little piece when I listen to that song, because it's nice to have all three influences in the solo, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a really cool piece, but it's also kind of crazy that we wrote a song that is literally about what's going on now 5 months ago. And, you know, it's Will's statement, it really stands true. Like, now we have all this time to think about how we can stop whatever it is that we're doing that's causing this to happen, and how we can better our society. Like, I'm really hoping that this is like a wake-up call to everybody about how vulnerable we are and how easily life can change. You know, life is like this in a lot of other places around the world.
Right. It is.
All the fucking time, whether you're, you know, locking yourself in the house because of war or famine or sickness. You know, this is something that Americans are very privileged, you know, to not have to deal with. So hopefully this shakes some people up into appreciating life and what we have here in the States a little bit more. You know what I mean? So
the irony of all this is, I remember when I interviewed you back in November, there's one quote you said in that interview that stuck out to me since then. You said, "It comes the way it's supposed to come," because you know it's not something that, oh, we're gonna release this song called Fear Tomorrow. It's gonna be a headbanging song, you know, a track that we're gonna put out. It's gonna be an amazing song.
Thank you.
We're gonna release it 5 months down the road. It's not something you planned out. It just happened. It was perfect. You know, Will came up with the idea, and then you guys all collaborated. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. Like, this the way that you're just describing everything coming to fruition, and this song that, you know, I mean, Sea of Tragic Beasts, it's my favorite record of 2019. No record comes close. And already you guys are already making, you know, noise this year, you know, considering everything that's happening. But the fact that you guys are even like resonating within the time to connect with people, not only is everything that's happening, it's like it's a wake up call, but even your song, you know, just the lyrics within itself, it's hand in hand. I just think that's where the creativity comes in. I think you guys are just nailing that, you know.
Well, with a guy like Will on the team, it's hard to not be pushed, you know, like he's at the forefront of heavy music. Like, he's recording and doing so many good projects and so many great bands. Like, the guy is like, you know, lock and key in the industry, and he has helped write and record some of the greatest records in the past 5 years, you know. So like, it's real hard and easy at the same time to work with a guy like Will, because his expectations are so high and his creativity levels are so high. Like, sometimes it's like, yeah, this is easy, and then sometimes it's like, fuck, this is really hard, because he wants me to play better and do better. And, you know, like, we were in the studio recording my solo for No Man Is Without Fear, and it took a minute because there was a part in it that was very different for me. It was like trying some new stuff, and he was just giving me that look like, all right, man, come on, dude, like, just like, get it together, like, stop it. If you're gonna do this, then you got to do it. And we figured it out, you know. So it's interesting, man. But yeah, like that comment that I made, that, you know, it comes the way it's supposed to, is the idea of that, you know what I mean? Like, it moves the way that it's supposed to move. And I feel like we're getting pushed in a lot of different directions, and we're just trying to focus on the main goal, which is making good music that people want to hear. You know what I mean? So, and what we want to play too. Don't get it bent. Like, I'm not fucking writing any music that I don't want to play. You know what I mean? And I'll never do that. Yeah. So.
So I've been keeping up with your Instagram, your social media, and being stuck at home like we all are. How are you keeping up with your guitar chops? Like, does your family just let you just crank up and play in the house, or how does that work out?
It's funny that you mentioned that, because there's always a guitar within 5 feet of me, always. So there's 4 or 5 guitars in here. There's 2 guitars in my living room. There's a guitar in my dining room, as a matter of fact.
You just keep one in every room.
I just keep them when it's time. And actually, I kind of hit this like weird wall where, like, being creative is one of those things where, like, it comes when it comes, right? But when you say, all right, you're home for 2 months, go be creative. It's like, like that's not how this works, So right now, I'm learning Marty Friedman solos. I've been working on, I just decided that I wanted to step my game up, and I really love his phrasing and his combination of whatever, just guitar nerd structure stuff. And I really love the way he plays. So I started learning the solo from Symphony of Destruction yesterday. I'm about 3/4 of the way through it, and I can play it at half speed. It's a wild solo.
Bro, you got this. If anybody's got this down pat, pun intended, it's you.
Well, I'll get there. It's like anything else. I'll build, but there's a couple of sections in there that are fucking wild. But that's it. So now I'm just trying to work on my chops, and then I've got some riffs in the computer. Like, I've recorded some things and some stuff that I'll use, some stuff that I won't. I have another band that I joined a couple of years back, and we haven't really done much. It's this band, Premonitions of War, from Ohio, and we're like working on some tracks right now, and I'm recording. It's just like really noisy, like Morbid Angel worship hardcore band is the only way I can put it. And so I've been messing with that. Yeah, that's fun, and so I'm doing that, and then that's it, man. Working out. I've been spending a lot of time working out and trying to keep that up, and hanging out with my kid and playing guitar. Nothing else to do.
When you guys were touring for Season, you guys toured extensively, after that release, and the reception you guys were getting was just amazing. I'm just so proud to see you guys where you are right now. How was that experience? I know everything's kind of just come to a halt, but from like October to beginning of March, how was everything? Like, you guys toured with Die Art also in Europe. How was that tour cycle for you guys?
Well, so our headliner, which is when you interviewed us, I believe, was the headliner.
Yeah.
That was when we played with
Discarnate and Lorna Shore, Rivers of Nile.
Yep. That was our headliner. Those numbers on that tour were incredible. That Dallas show was great. I remember being worried because it was kind of shitty weather, and every time we played, it was shitty weather. But a good amount of people showed up that night. I think it was pretty close to being sold out. I think maybe 400 total was that night, or 300. I can't remember the shows. They get a little jumbled. But Denver was like the Bluebird Theater, and there was like almost 500 kids in the Bluebird Theater before guest list or anything. And I got there, and I was nervous because it's a big venue. And I walked up, and I was like, hey, I'm hoping tonight's going to be good. And she's like, there's 350 pre-sale. And I was like, what?
Damn.
Yeah. And there was a bunch of sold-out shows. The show in LA was over 400. The show in Fresno sold out. The show in Sacramento sold out. Like, dude, that was a great tour, man. And then off of that, we went and did the Die Art tour, which was fucking massive. Like, Die Art's live show, everything was, that was an incredible tour. You know, Carnifex was cool. I Am was cool. Rivers, obviously, we toured with them before. But like watching the art set and watching how much of like a big boy like metal band set it was, like the last handful of shows they had pyro, like they were on some like Parkway Drive style performance.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that shit on social media. I was like, oh my god, they're going all out for this tour.
Yeah. And,
Not even
know,
we
like,
got. You know, when I interviewed Die Hard, like we didn't even get that. You know, but the venues you guys were playing were massive. Like the ones that I saw, at least.
Yeah, like 2,000 cap rooms. And,
Yeah.
and
Lord.
like, yo, I'm so proud of Thy Art, and like watching their set, like it gave me this like this little glimmer inside of me, like a little like a burning ember to like step up the live show. Like watching them and seeing them push their craft and like want to step into that next level kind of thing, like it just made me realize like there's room for bands like us in that world if we really want to be there.
Oh, definitely.
And now's the time. So like we had a lot of plans for this year, and you know, who knows, like we have 2 more tours booked this year, but we have Europe, but you know, who knows how that's going to happen. We did announce Europe because we have to, you know, we have to put it out there that we have these festivals booked and stuff, but, and I know a lot of the festivals are kind of holding on, hoping that they can make it work, but
Yeah.
it's not looking too promising right now. We're hoping, you know, we're hopeful, but I mean, you know how that goes. So we'll see. But then we have an American tour and a Canadian tour booked for the end of the year, which will be August and then September. And then we're talking about doing something maybe in December now that things have slowed down so much. And then we have a big fucking European tour January, February. Like it will by far be the biggest tour Fit For An Autopsy's ever fucking done. I can't talk about it, but
Man.
like there's some like 10,000 cap rooms type shit.
So Europe always gets the best shows.
Yeah. And it's going to be one of those ones that people are going to go, what the fuck? Like, holy shit. But here's the thing. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, who knows if it's going to happen? So careers are questionable right now. You know what I mean? So I'm just hoping that everyone can figure out a way to keep their bands rolling. Like there's bands out there that like have been around for years and years, and then there's new bands out there like Fuming Mouth and all these other bands. Like I'm wearing their shirt. I love that band. I was just talking about them before we started talking.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping younger bands can hang in there. You know what I mean? And like, because like think about that tour that we just canceled. Let's focus on that for a minute. That tour,
right.
You had this Unmazor band. They're from Iceland. They flew here from Iceland to open a tour. Right, so that band, and then Aversion's Crown from Australia. Yeah. They're from Australia.
Yes.
You're looking at least $15,000 in flights just to get here, and then the artist from Australia. So think about not only what we lost because we couldn't do the tour, but the tour startup that no one in the world thinks about except for people who are involved in it. Those guys are losing thousands upon thousands of dollars before the fucking first show even happened. You know what I mean? And we were $20,000 down, and we're from the States. Imagine what it's like coming over from there. So many of these young bands and veteran bands have taken hits monetarily. Everybody's going to be rushing for the bit when it's time to get back, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to be weird too, because then promoters are going to be in the hole, clubs are going to be in the hole, everybody's going to be trying to gain, and there's going to be so many people wanting to tour that everybody's going to be getting lowball offers to go on tour because there's going to be there's nowhere for the money to come from. Nobody's going to have money. So everybody's going to be on tour, but it's going to be a struggle for the first year to get things back to normal. And then once that happens, it'll be easier because, you know, promoters will make money, clubs will make money, people will be able to get back to normal advertising and all of those things. And, you know, people will be working, they'll be able to spend money on t-shirts and going to shows and all that stuff. So there's more to it than just what happened and where it's going to go. There's also the like full on financial burden going on in the world right now that's going to hurt the touring industry. So, if you guys are listening, like, really support your bands. Like, if you even if you can't buy a t-shirt, share the post, put it out to your friends, like, share the music, email your friends, hey, fucking Fit or Thy Art or Carnifex or whatever, the fucking Taylor Swift, the whole industry, everybody's hurt. You know what I mean? These people are losing their asses on every level. Bartenders, security guards, police detail that would normally be able to be there to work. Like, all of these things are affected. So, it's crazy how deep down this whole thing goes. And I'm just hoping that, we can get back to some kind of normalcy sooner than later. But man, it's a pretty rough one right now.
It is. I have a lot of friends in the aside from music, just in the waiting tables, bartenders, in that industry who are just out of jobs right now, and the unemployment, the amount of people who file for unemployment, it's rising by the minute.
It's staggering.
It's crazy. You did mention about how musicians, artists like yourselves, they're young artists, veteran artists who are trying to, get out of this muck. It's, for lack of a better term, it's more than a muck, but
yeah,
I've seen some bands. I'm gonna point one out. Code Orange. They went live streaming for a concert that they did without anybody in the venue. So do you think like the quarantine induced like live streaming surge is going to affect your business going forward, like just the musician business going forward? Is that something maybe you see bands doing more?
I don't think so. I think what Code Orange did was cool, trying to create a thing and do what they did. But I don't necessarily think that people are gonna stop going to shows and just do the live streaming thing.
Yeah.
Because, live streaming has been a thing for a long time, and it's something that a lot of people take advantage of. But man, live shows are a different thing, and people that love going to live shows, they need that. There's this energy that's there and this sense of community, and I don't think we're quite deep enough into the matrix yet that people are ready to give up the social aspect of what happens in the world. And here's a really interesting thing. My Instagram numbers are growing and growing and growing, and the band's Instagram, the personal Instagrams in my band. I've been talking to all my guys. People are messaging me every day. I'm so bummed I couldn't get to see you. I can't wait until you guys get back out. The anticipation for the shows is really there. More messages than I've ever gotten, and I'm fucking flattered and humbled that people are messaging me to say, hey man, we hope you guys are good. We hope your band is good. We hope you and your family are good. We need you guys. Get out here as soon as you can. Like, these people should be worried about their own families. They should be worried about their shit, but they're messaging me because they need that connection, and I need that connection. My band needs that connection. That shit is wild to me, dude. Like, every day, 5 to 10 messages from different people all over the fucking globe saying, hey man, this shit sucks. I'm really bummed I don't get to see you at this show, but just know that we're all waiting for you guys. Come here. The whole come to Brazil joke that, floats around, like that whole thing. Like, it's still happening, man. And it's happening more than ever. And I'm humbled, and like, it's almost kind of like, for a guy like me, it's almost kind of like, fuck, like, this is real. Like, these people give a shit about my life. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So
it's a humbling experience, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
And there's a connection there. So I don't think that connection is going to get lost on the internet or live streaming, feeding bullshit. Like, I think it's cool that bands are doing it right now. And, again, the Code Orange thing, like, it's great.
I think what they were doing, there was also another band. There's another band called Insomnium. They're from their Finnish Melodeath band, they're doing ticket sales online.
See, I don't
So
like that.
yeah, like they're doing ticket sales so fans can actually tune in to see the live streaming. I thought that was interesting. So I don't know, like, what you thought about that when it,
Yeah,
because
I don't.
because the revenues
don't-
are going to the bands themselves.
I'm not here to judge what another band does,
Right, of course.
and I'm not going to do that. But at times like this, like if you wanted to do that on a normal everyday kind of thing, like I would be cool with that. But like we're selling merch because we have to sell merch because we need to make money, and we have to pay the bills. Like that's it. But we also gave that song away. You know, we put that song out as a thank you to everybody that bought our merch from us. And I think if it wasn't this wild pandemic going on and somebody came to me and they're like, yo, we want to do like a global show where everybody in the world will be able to tune in and we're going to do this like discount price kind of thing, like, you know, like some WWE event that you watch at night on pay-per-view kind of thing. I think Metallica did that with the S&M thing. But that shit's cool. But it would be a situation for me where I would feel like we would play a live show in front of an audience and then film it and put it out there so people who couldn't be there could maybe jump in and pay $15 to get it. Fine. But I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is just one man's view. I can't ask anybody for anything right now. And I know we're selling merch because we have to, but like, I don't know. It feels wrong to me, but that's just me. You know what I mean? I don't think now's the time for that kind of thing. But again, everybody's got to make a living and everybody's got to make money. And I'm not judging that band. I'm just saying if I was asked to do it, I would want to do it for free. You know?
Yeah.
And that's just me. I think Code Orange was free, I'm pretty sure, right?
I believe it was. Yeah.
That's
right,
cool.
right.
That's cool. You know what I mean? Cool. I do your thing, and I know Code Orange just had like a crazy video and a new record, and they're doing their thing. So it makes sense that they would want to be in the public eye right now and like do something for people to see. But I mean, they didn't charge for it, and that says something. You know what I mean? They understand what's going on right now. We're all stuck in this thing, and I don't know. Maybe again, who the fuck knows? Maybe what I'm saying is wrong. Maybe, you know, they had particular reasons. Maybe they needed to do it to save their band, which is understandable. But I don't know if I'm the guy that could stand up and be like, hey, pay $15 to watch me on the internet when we put videos out for free for you to watch on YouTube every day. You know what I mean? It just feels weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, putting it that way, you know, that does bring it into perspective.
Yeah.
It's just another example of, you know, trying to get through this time. It's unprecedented. It's not something you plan for. It's like, okay, so this is
that's misinformation
that happens when there's a pandemic.
Hang on. That's kind of misinformation. It's not unprecedented. This has happened before. Now, it hasn't happened for a long time, but in 1918, this happened. This is the biggest right now. Now, the reason I'm pumping the brakes is because how important this is. I'm not saying you're doing it on purpose, but think about it. This is not unprecedented. This has happened before. So saying things like that is the misinformation that we don't need. Everybody, this has happened before. He's what he's saying, I understand, because in our lifetimes, this is completely new. But in 1918, the country got through this with less science, technology, and ability, and they got through. So don't give that little bit of misinformation because people will grab that and run with it. We will get through this, and we have the technology. You know what I mean? Like we're doing,
and we've gotten through it before with less resources.
Right. That is the right thing to say, because when you say that it's unprecedented, it gives it this whole new thing that nothing like this has happened before, and there's no hope, and we're not going to get through it. Who the fuck knows? It's not unprecedented, but you are right. This is new for our time and our technology and our position. My biggest fear is the fear that comes along with the information that we pass out to people. Do I know everything? No. Am I a scientist? No. But I do know that we have been through this before, and we've risen up as a country, and now we're going to rise up as a world, and we're going to do it together. And if we do it together and we create this bond from country to country, person to person, place to place, as a team, instead of worrying about all the politics and bullshit, we will know globally that we did some great thing together, whatever your part may be, and we can move forward as a fucking globe and a world and make things a little better. That's my hope through all of this. The reality, I can't say. But I don't mean to cut you off, man, but that's very important to me that we're careful.
No, that's the perspective that we need. It's almost like it's too much to ask for everyone to work together. That's what I'm seeing is we're so spoiled in this generation, that people just aren't willing to go all in to work together to get out of this. And I feel like we could be done with this a lot sooner than expected, but I feel like it's dragging.
Well, it's wild. Like I keep reading different things, Fauci says everybody's got a distance. And then there's another epidemiologist, I guess you say, a guy who studies epidemics, who says that respiratory disease is best battled by people getting it and passing it. And no one has ever said we're going to get a cure. They keep talking about slowing the curve, which means we're all still going to get exposed in one way, shape, or form. So there's no real dialogue on what is actually going to work. And it's like you say, like, there's no promise on any of this. Like, it's just going to go the way it needs to go. But you're right, man. Like, regardless of whether they're right or wrong, there is a certain amount of responsibility to each other as human beings that we need to fall in line to a certain degree to help each other. So
and you also see things a little bit more clearly when, I guess, a little bit more seriously, because I actually have family in Italy and Belgium who actually have been affected by this disease. And my cousin's got this disease. She has a 2-year-old that she can't even be near because she has to be quarantined. It's you start to see things a little differently when a person is affected, and then another person who doesn't take it seriously. It drives you up the wall. And anyway, that's just my opinion.
You're right. You're completely right. And I don't think you should have any fear or reservations of saying those kinds of things in public, because your family is important to you, and it should be important to me and everybody else, because if I don't help you take care of your family, you're not going to help me take care of my family. Like, this is not a privileged thing. This is supposed to be something that we're helping each other with, right? But let me put a spin on what you just said. I was in Milan a month and a half ago, or 2 months ago almost now, when everything was starting to hit the fan. Our government knew about it in December, January, and they waited to start travel restrictions. So we were sent into the belly of the beast on a plane for a month, where all of these things were starting to happen, and no one warned us. And all these people are mad at the government and all of these things for, we could have done earlier, we could have done this, nobody knew this was going to be a global fucking pandemic when it started. Like, there was something going on in China, but nobody knew that it was going to hit Italy so hard, that it was going to hit everywhere so hard. So, like, people are blaming the government and Trump and all of these things. Would it have mattered? Would anybody have stopped or listened if Trump came out and was like, hey, we should slow travel down, blah, blah, blah? Like, would any of us really have listened? And would it have mattered? Because now we know it's happening, and people like your family are affected, and motherfuckers are still having barbecues. You know what I mean? People are mad because they can't go out to dinner. Your family member is sick. Like, these are all things that you should be saying, man, and you have a right to feel that way. And for a little while, I was, being my angsty, rebellious teenage self trapped in a 44-year-old man's body, like, oh, fuck this and do what I want. And then I saw it get bad. I talked to a couple of people, and it changed my view, and now I'm spending most of my days at home. You know what I mean? So you're not wrong, dude, and don't say I'm not going to talk about it, I'm not going to do it. You fucking keep talking about it, because that's important that people hear you say that.
No, I appreciate it. By the way, I didn't say this before, but my well wishes go out to your mother-in-law. I hope it's cancer's a terrible disease. I lost too many family members and friends to that. So we're running out of time, but I want to switch gears here for a second, because I had some fun questions I wanted to ask you.
All right, let's do it.
we're gonna switch gears like we usually do. So
No,
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read a song lyric. Okay, you are gonna tell me what's the name of the song. Can you do that?
I
I want to know
try.
how. I want to know how
huge-
well you know your music, bro. Okay.
This is from my band.
Yeah, this is from your band. No. This is Fit for an Autopsy. Not from Premonitions of War, which, by the way, we will talk about next time I get to talk to you.
Okay. Well, this is tough because we don't play it live. There's a chance I'm not gonna know all the lyrics. But go ahead.
Okay. Corey, what do you think? Should I start them off easy or should I just throw random ones?
Just throw random ones. That's fine.
Okay. All right. This is just 3 lines. I shall rise on these heathen wings, flames, the cold embrace of the beast that swallows worlds.
That is, it's the least favorite song that we have.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Wrath?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I fucking hate that song. God damn.
I knew. I was like, I have to
knew
pick
that.
this one.
I didn't think I was gonna know the first one, but I fucking hate that song. Go ahead.
I know you hate that song. That's why I picked that. Okay. Here's another one. We only shit where we eat, licking the plate clean. Such a modern convenience. A 4-course meal for anyone not listening. Romantic dinners for 2. The parasites and you.
Oh fuck. It's off of. That's off of. I think it's off of Hellbound.
Yeah. Good.
Fuck.
Putting him on the spot.
You are. No,
Love-
dude, it's good. I know the lyric and I can hear the music in my head, but romantic dinners for 2. The parasite. Fuck. Man, you got me.
That is Children of the Corn Syrup.
Yeah, it's Children of the Corn Syrup. Okay, go ahead, fuckers.
Okay.
I thought it was, but I wasn't
No.
sure. But
All right,
idea.
so-
Yeah, it's Children of the Corn Syrup. Go ahead.
All right, so you're 1 for 2. All right, okay. No, actually, okay. This is actually my favorite song off of this record. We let ride like rookies at the table. We let it ride alone in the fallout. We deserve the fate we've enabled. Absolutely love this song. I don't think I've actually seen you guys play this live.
I hear the music in my head.
Actually, you got the riff correct.
I know. Wait, just give me a minute.
This is great.
I can hear the song in my head. Fuck, why can't I remember the name of the song? This game sucks. It's off of, again, that is off of Absolute Hope. It is...
Yep.
We did a video for it. The lights swinging in the fucking room.
Man,
God,
you got like everything
song?
down except the name.
Yeah, it's just the name is...
How do I give him a? Do I give him a context? Do I give him a clue? I don't know how I actually give him a clue.
It's. I don't know why I'm fucking hitting a wall, but I know I can sing the.
What letter does it start with, Sonny?
It starts with an H.
Starts with an H.
Yeah. Oh, come on, man.
What the wrong with me?
All right. So this means next time I see you guys better this better be on the set list.
All right, we probably will. I know the song. I'm just like, just wait. The fucked up thing is that as soon as you say it, I'm gonna be so disappointed in myself. But just hitting a wall. Yeah, you got it. Go ahead.
Hollow Shell.
Hollow Shell. Makes sense. Yeah, I know exactly what song it is. I can't remember the fucking names of my own songs. Go ahead. Fuck.
Okay, I got two more. This one's an easy one. This one it's easy. Tragedy
Okay.
reigns forever. Tragedy reigns forever. Tragedy reigns forever.
I mean, Jesus Christ, it's Black Mammoth.
I gotta give an easy one, man.
Like that. You know what it is with Hollow Shell? Hollow Shell is one of those songs that I argue that we should be playing.
Yes.
Everybody tells me no.
I love that
Everybody
song.
tells me no. It's kind of like an easy song to play, but it's got so much feeling to it. But live, it never nails the way we want it to. But go.
Really, man,
Yeah.
it's right up there. One of my all-time favorites for you guys.
I love that song. I'm embarrassed that I didn't know that. I don't know. In my head, I'm like, I fucking fully blank. Weird pressure. But go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, I don't know if this is a curveball, but okay, let's see how this goes. You can't control us all. You'll never kill us all. Failure is not an option. It's the only way out. You can't control us all. You'll never fucking kill us all.
That's an older one. I
Okay.
feel like it's an older one.
This is throwing it back.
Yeah. This is like Process of Human Extermination track.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Is it The Colonist?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. That's a good fucking track. That's an
That is
old
a good
one,
fucking
dude.
track.
That's one that we never really play live either. That's a good. You know what? Maybe I'm gonna fish back into that one, and we'll break that track out. That's a good one.
That's the idea.
You know what's funny? I don't know. For me to miss Hollow Shell is such a kick in the ass. It's almost like this weird pressure game where like you suck at taking tests, but I truly love that song. And I feel like because of this, I'm gonna make them let me put that back in there because I don't want to not.
Yes.
I don't want that song to forever be in my brain. But when you have 5-6 records, like it's so wild to like reach back that far just on lyrics as a guitar player. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like I'm surprised that I got the Colonist one, and I'm also surprised that I didn't get Hollow Shell. So
You got
that's a good
Wrath.
game.
You also got Wrath, yeah. So
What? Yeah,
You
I got
also-
Your
Wrath.
most hated
Yeah.
song. You
I-
got your
I-
most hated
fucking
song.
that is- Yo, that song, The Jackal and Wrath are the two oldest songs that we could talk about, and Digging Shallow Graves. Like those three tracks.
Are those from the Hell on Earth?
Those
EP?
are that's from the Hell on Earth EP.
Yeah.
Yep. So those are like old gems, dude. I hate that song Wrath.
Yeah, hey, you and Will share that same opinion, so I'm glad I picked that one. Okay, this one, there's no way you should fucking miss this.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, yeah. You said
I mean, I'm gonna. This is the last one. I'm gonna end this on an easy note. Everyone loves you when you're dead or dying, but the earth owes you nothing, just to hold a dying.
That's on the new record.
Come on, bro.
Is it Napalm Dreams?
Yes, that's your
Yeah.
favorite one.
Yeah. Yep, that's my favorite song on the record. It's you know what it is? It's more like I'm unsure and I don't want to answer wrong. And like I get it in my head that it's there, and I'm like, yeah, that's right, but what if I'm wrong? You know what I mean? Yeah, that song is is one of those songs.
You weren't on board with that song first. You told me that.
I wasn't on board. It was so different for us that I had this like real deep-seated fear that like I love the song, and when I heard it without lyrics, I was like, absolutely not, like no. But then when I heard it with vocals and the way it was written and like Joe's expression of everything, like it really changed my view on that song, and I think it's the best complete song that Fit For An Autopsy has ever written. It's
the lyric that I just spoke out right now is that it's probably my favorite one in the entire album because it just hits you so hard. Everyone loves you when you're dead or dying. That's, man, like the intellectual concept that goes behind just that line. It couldn't be more true to what time we are living in right now. You know,
I think it's always been that way too. Like, really think about like the greatest artists in the world, like the struggling artists, like the Picassos and the, all these guys that are creating all this new ground. They struggle their whole life and they live poor and they don't have anything, and then they die and their art becomes worth millions of dollars. It's like almost like you have to die in order to be appreciated as an artist or a creator, which is one of those things. Like, when I hear that line, I think it goes for most people, but I also believe, like, in the art world and in the creative side of things, there's no line that's truer. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You hear about these artists that lived in a one-room flat in New York City and were eating beans and rice every day to get by, barely getting through it, living in the most uncomfortable conditions, and then now their paintings are selling for fucking $450,000 for like some sketch. You know what I mean? And that, like, to me, it's pretty sad. It's a weird thing for me.
No, it's a very common thing to happen too, sadly, and it's definitely an eye-opening, realization just to the reality of what we're all dealing with. But,
yeah.
So I think we are out of time right now, but man, this is like an hour. This is great.
Sorry, guys. I like
no, bro.
I'm
do you have any last words like you want to say, like just from your heart?
Yeah, man. First of all, thank you guys for taking an hour of your day to help, keep my band or any band afloat in these crazy times, and like giving bands a platform to, maybe further their success in a time where it's really hard to do that. That's number one. Number two, thank you to everybody that bought a record or bought a t-shirt or, supported us when things got shut down, because you really did make it possible for us not to have to lose our asses in this whole situation. And last but not least, to everybody in the industry, from bands to promoters to booking agents to, media people, to photographers and bartenders and security guards and everybody who's losing it right now. Like, just know that bands out there know what you're going through, and we give a fuck that we're all in this situation, and just keep doing what you're doing, stick it out, and let's try to push back when things come and save it all, because it can go one of two ways. People can fall apart, or we can stick together as a team and like really push forward. So, work hard, and hopefully we'll get back to normal soon.
Yeah, got to work together during this time. That's the only way we're going to get through it. But we'll get through it. That's how it's going to be. We're going to be just going forward. So hopefully, one last question. Actually, I forgot. Before I let you go, I actually wanted to. I can't believe I forgot to ask you this. Your relationship with Matt Heafy from Trivium. How did that blossom into what it is today?
It's funny
because
that you brought that up.
But before you answer, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Before you answer, because when I first saw you guys were opening up for Trivium a few years back, and you had bands like While She Sleeps and Arch Enemy. But man, the band that stood out that night, and Trivium just released a brand new album at that time, The Sin and the Sentence. The band that stood out for me that night was Fit For An Autopsy. And then I saw you guys again with Trivium again, that following summer, and you guys stole the show yet again. I'm not even surprised anymore at this point, because how well you guys are just at one well-oiled machine live. But just the support that you and Matt give each other, I mean, I love seeing that. Matt's band's been around, for a while, as yours has. But you guys just haven't been getting the recognition you deserve, just like Matt.
We're in different lanes. Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's like coming together. Like, where did that relationship start?
So here's the crazy thing about Matt. It's funny that you bring that up, because I've been on the phone with him like a handful of times this week, because names will remain nameless, but somebody took a little shot at Matt on the internet, and I read it, and I jumped to defend him, because Matt found out about our band completely organically. Their guitar player gave him the record to listen to, gave him the Great Collapse, and Matt fell in love with it. And Matt started posting about us randomly on the internet, and we saw it. So our first response was to say, Matt, like, you don't have any idea how much it means for like a 20-year, metal lifer who has struggled to make his band what it is, to like give us that kind of recognition. Thank you. And then he was like, yo, we want to take you guys on tour. And that's like, well, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, sure. And we want to pay you guys a decent amount of money and let you open for our 2,000 people a night. And like, so like that was really cool. But in the process of that, I got to spend some time with him. And then I got to meet his wife. And then I've been to his house and I've met his kids and I've hung out with his family. And I come to realize like Matt Heafy is just a good soul,
Yeah.
And the biggest problem in the industry right now is that people are too quick to jump to conclusions about the things that they think that they know about people. And it's aside from major other problems, but like to me, on like a scene level, like like where our band is and where we come from, people don't take people in our world seriously because people in our world don't know how to conduct themselves professionally, right? So this dude took a shot at Matt, and I jumped right back at him and defended Matt and said, hey man, like Matt discovered us on his own, pulled us up, brought us on tour rather, took the time to talk about our band, and because of Matt, I just did an interview with Rob from Machine Head, Rob Flynn.
Yeah, awesome.
With him, right? And that's because Matt posted about us, and Rob was like, all right, like, I'm going to come see Trivium. And he came on that same tour that you saw us on. And I met Rob, and then Rob checked the band, and then Rob's post. And then Gary Holt from Slayer saw Matt posting about our band. And Gary fucking Holt from Slayer and fucking Exodus is posting about my band on the fucking internet, right? So this is all organic, and it's all because of Matt Heafy, dude. And the lesson here is sometimes people in our industry need to shut up and open their eyes, because there's guys above us that are great, like Matt Heafy. And our friendship is a true friendship, not because he put my band on blast. That was the catalyst. But we're friends because he's a good fucking dude. When I say, hey, Matt, those new guitar picks look great, and these show up at my house, I get 4 bags of these at my house because he wanted to do something nice for me. He didn't have to do that. He did it because he's a good dude, right? That's what I'm talking about. So Matt Heafy, if you're watching this, thank you for everything you've done for my band and for really caring about music and metal and pulling smaller bands up and giving them an opportunity to do bigger things. And to all the people in our industry that don't take the time to recognize that, act like a professional and really look at things from where they are. Don't blast people on the internet when you have no idea what they're about. And don't try to align people with your opinion because you think it's right. Because you have no idea. This dude is a good human. So I'm glad you brought that up. It's something that I've been meaning to talk about, but I kind of kept to myself. But you know what? Fuck it. Like, Matt Heafy's a good human, and everybody in Trivium is great. They're all good dudes. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the opportunities we have. So, you know what? I'm glad you brought that dude up. He's a fucking champion, that guy. Really.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling I was missing a question. I was like, something doesn't feel right. I feel like I should be asking something. And then I remember I was like, oh, holy crap! Like one of the most important questions to me, because Trivium was a band I grew up on. Man, I hope, and I know you probably can't say anything, but I know they're releasing a new record later this month. I hope you guys, since you guys released Seas last year, can come together with Trivium and do like another run. I mean, that'd be absolutely amazing. It would be absolutely amazing having you and Matt do an interview together with us. That would be amazing. That'd be like just coming full circle.
I'll tell you what, there's a band in metal right now that treated us great and that we would tour with and support anytime. It's those dudes. I heard stories, about what people thought and about certain things. And we've toured with some bands that maybe didn't treat us as well as they could have. But Trivium is a class act. And whether you love or hate what they do or the music they make, you got to respect the guy for caring about the underground and pulling bands up and treating them the right way. So, yeah, Matt deserves a little praise on that one. He's a good dude.
Definitely. It's just something you can learn character-wise from just an individual doing the right thing. You
Yeah.
got to do the right thing, man. You just be the person you are. Just do the right thing. Help people out. That's how we're going to be able to get to where we want in this world, by pursuing our passion. And you guys have that. Matt has that. Bands are out there, and I love the support you guys give each other. Two of my favorite bands working together, touring, supporting each other, all the love. It's great to see, and we just need more of that.
Well, I agree, and I also think that the more bands, like we did the Depression sessions with that exact thing in mind.
Oh,
Three
love that.
bands.
I love that album.
Right. It's 3 bands that normally people would think are competing for the top spot. The Acacia Strain, the IR, we're an up-and-coming band trying to get where they are. But it's not about that. It's about creating a cool thing, a tangible, cool, interesting thing together, and working on concepts together, and uniting more parts of the industry. And, that's the idea of all of this. So we'll see. It took a long time for me to wrap my head around what I want from whatever this career might be, and that's what I want, dude. So, more Matt Heafys in the world. That would be sick.
More Pat Sheridans in the world too. We need more
Well,
you guys. Now, Pat, man, thank you so much, bro. It's you're literally one of my favorite people to talk to, and I hope whenever all this resolves, and it will resolve down the line, come back to Texas. We love you guys.
Thank you.
Let's do another interview. Hopefully, if you guys do come back with IR, let's do one with you and Andy. And if it's with Trivium, let's do one with you and Matt. I would just love to bring more people on to, just be in the spot, just it'd be great to do that.
Well, you guys are great, and thank you for giving a shit about metal and about the community. And, anytime you want me, I'll be happy to do it.
Hey, we're here for you, bud. Just let us know whatever you need, all right? And I'll let you know ASAP. We're going to put this podcast up very soon. It's actually on Stitcher, iTunes, and Spotify, so you can get it on all platforms. Perfect. And I'll give you the links to all of them once they're out. All right, bro?
Awesome, and we'll share them across the board.
Hey, man, I appreciate you so much for supporting us as well. Let's be there for each other. Let's look after one another, and we're going to get to where we're going to get into with our lives if we work together. So, and Absolutely. You're a perfect example of that. Thank you for existing. Thank you for putting the music out that you do. The sky's the limit for you. Let's keep going, bro.
All right, brother. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Appreciate it, bro.
Later, guys.
Later.
7 oceans, 7 seas, 7 billion souls that swam back to the bottom, like they to the flame. We take the sun off, our rivers sugar and twine, open hell, oil and wine, run forth to the sea, and dance silently, we burn together.
What's up, guys? Thank you for listening. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe and share our channel. It would be greatly appreciated. And we look forward to bringing more guests onto our podcast. And if you have any suggestions on who we should bring next or in the future, please let us know. You could find us at Interview Under Fire's Facebook or Instagram, or you can reach me directly at schwag@interviewunderfire.com. That's SCHWAG @interviewunderfire.